What's up, card family? Hope everybody is doing awesome on this Sunday. I hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you're getting ready to relax and watch some football. I'm actually not getting ready to do that. My wife's at work. My daughter and I we're gonna go to town, have lunch, and they have a Native American uh, powwow going on in Mankato. So we're gonna go check that out. And yeah, but anyways, I just watched Rob's commenting collectors uh, video. He is celebrating 500 subscribers, and he has asked us to do a VR, put together a fantasy baseball lineup. Um, and right away, when I saw what he was asking for, before he even explained it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this like Twins. He wanted he wants you to show cards. He doesn't just want you to uh, put a lineup out. He wants you to show actual cards from your collection. And so right away, I'm like, maybe I might have to do this all Twins because that's really all I collect. I mean, I used to collect. My collection used to be more diverse. I used to have Hank Aaron and Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle cards, Roy Campanella, Larry Doby cards, but I don't have so much of that anymore. I sold almost all of them or traded them or whatever because they just I love baseball and baseball history, but what really resonates to me is my teams. And if I want items that are not PC, I want them to be autographs because I want the player to have touched it and it be and that's what's important to me. So a 1955 Hank Aaron card or whatever doesn't really do anything for me. So that's why I don't have a ton of non PC cards. Um, and I have a lot of autographed items, like envelopes and postcards, and I wasn't sure to bring those out, but I ended up digging through my non PC box, and I think I found some pretty cool stuff. So we're gonna go with this. I have a great mix of players. I have players from not every, but from many different eras of baseball. So we will go through and I will give the position and what the batting order is. The first one, and playing center field and leading off, just like Rob had in his team, is Ricky Henderson. And I used to have a Ricky Henderson rookie card too, but I sold that. But this is a pretty cool Reindeer Studios custom card. So yeah, so Ricky did play a little over 400 games in center field, so I think it's okay for him to play there. And batting second, one of my favorite non PC cards is the third baseman, Wade Boggs. So Wade Boggs, I thought about, I had a Miguel Cabrera, I had a um, Brooks Robinson autographs, and I thought about using those, but ultimately I went with Wade Boggs because I like guys that get on base, that are on base machines, and that's Wade Boggs. And that's a lot of these guys. Um, you're going to see some more power coming up in the lineup, though. So batting third, and he's going to be my DH. This guy, and it's Mr. Ted Williams. So Ted Williams will be batting third, and he will be DHing. So that's my first three batters. So batting fourth, I think you should have this guy in your lineup if you can do it. And he played a fairly equal amount right field and left field. He played a little bit more right field, but I'm putting him in left field. And he also pitched, and that is, of course, Mr. Babe Ruth. Typically, I think he batted third, but we're gonna bat him clean up in this lineup because we got Ted. He's pretty good for batting third. So there's that, and then so we got it wasn't just it wasn't just 80s, 90s era guys. We got Babe Ruth and we got Ted Williams, and here's a more modern player. You're going to actually be surprised. I got 2 active players in this lineup. This is not one of them, however, but my first baseman, one of the greatest that I ever seen play, was Albert Pujols. He's going to be batting 5th. Oh, one other thing. So I talked about thinking about doing this with all twins, but decided not to, and actually decided to do it with no twins. So you won't see Kirby Puckett. You won't see the typical stuff that I show and typical players that I talk about. No Rod Carew, no Harmon Killebrew, because I wanted to make it a point to not include twins. So, playing in right field and batting 6th on my lineup is Roberto Clemente. So, one of the all-time greats. So I think this is a pretty dang good lineup. So batting 7th is a legend, and Rob also had him on his team. So the second baseman, Jackie Robinson, got another one of Scott's custom cards. I mean, after all, he is my best friend. So that is my 7th batter, Jackie Robinson at second base. Here's where the surprises come in. So the shortstop, I think this guy is great. I think he's on track to be a future Hall of Famer right now. As long as nothing happens. You know, his last year he had an amazing year. He's down a little bit this year, but still, you know, one of the best players in the league. And he's my shortstop, and he's batting 8th, Mr. Bobby Witt Jr. So, and then my catcher is batting 9th, and my catchers I struggle with because I didn't really have a lot of catcher cards in my collection. You know, I could have put Joe Mauer or Earl Batty or somebody like that in my lineup, but I decided not to. So I went with this guy purely on, it was the easiest for me to find a card of. I probably have other ones that I would have to dig for. But after I settled on him, I thought, you know what, actually he's a pretty good fit for this team. I got a lot of guys that get on base, that are good at getting on base. We got some speed guys, we got some defensive guys, you know, but this guy is pretty good defensively. And shout out to Eddie's Cardboard Chaos. My catcher is going to be Cal Raleigh. So we have a few guys on this lineup that are capable of hitting 50 home runs. And then my pitcher, I thought about going with Walter Johnson. I didn't know if that would be cheating because I said I didn't want to put any twins, and Senators, technically not twins, but it's the same franchise. But anyways, I love this card so much I wanted to show it. Like, I like showing this card because I just think it's cool as hell. And this is a player that I watched growing up and really admired a lot. And so my pitcher is going to be Nolan Ryan. So that is my lineup. So to recap, we have batting first in center field, Rickey Henderson. Batting second at third base, Wade Boggs. Batting third at DH, Ted Williams. Batting fourth in left field, Babe Ruth. Batting fifth in first base, Albert Pujols. Batting sixth in right field, Roberto Clemente. Batting seventh and playing second base, Jackie Robinson. Batting eighth, my shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. And batting ninth, my catcher, Cal Raleigh. And my pitcher, Nolan Ryan. So that's my lineup. So congratulations, Rob, on 500 subscribers. I'm surprised you don't have a lot more than that. I think more people watch your channel than watch mine. So Uh, it won't take you too long to get to 1,000, and I really appreciate you and what you do in this community. And I appreciate all you guys who watched. Let me know what you think of my lineup down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.